what we have here are two simultaneous equations. So we're trying to figure out what the value of x and y is. They're called simultaneous equations because the value for x and the value for y will be the same value for both equations. So the first thing you want to do is number your equations. So you have equation 1 and equation 2. So you have 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. And then the other one is 4x plus y is equal to 13. Now what we want to do is we want to manipulate both equations so that we get rid of one of the variables. So we'll focus on the y variable. So this equation here, the y is plus 3y and the bottom is plus 1y. Now we want to change it so that these terms are the same but opposite sign. So we have to change this bottom y value to minus 3y. Now how we do that is we can manipulate the formulas by multiplying them by a number. So what we can do is we can multiply the bottom equation by minus 3. So we're going to multiply the bottom equation by minus 3, and basically what that will do is it will change this plus 1y to minus 3y, and therefore we're able to cancel it out with the plus 3y at the top. So what you do is you multiply. Now you have to multiply every term in the expression by minus 3, and you rewrite it. You rewrite the equations. So we have equation 1, equation 2. In this case, we're not doing anything to equation 1, so it just stays the same. So it's going to be 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. So the bottom one, we have to multiply every term in it by minus 3 and then rewrite the expression. So that's going to be, so minus 3 multiplied by 4x, that gives us minus 12x. Minus 3 multiplied by plus 1y gives us minus 3y. And then minus 3 multiplied by 13 gives us minus 13, and 13 is 26. And 13 is 39, so it's minus 39. So the next part then is what we do is we add these two equations together. So you want to add them together. And the reason we add them together is we want to get rid of one of the variables, and then we just want to make one equation so we can solve for the other variable. So we're trying to get rid of the y variables in this case. So what we do is we just add them together. So you have 9, so plus 9 minus 39, that's going to be equal to minus 30, is equal to, and plus 3y minus 3y, these will cancel out. And then you have plus 2 minus 2x, that's going to be equal, minus 12x, that's going to be equal to minus 10x. So now what we want to do is we want to solve for x. So this is minus 10x, and then this is minus 30. So what we're saying is that minus 10x is equal to minus 30. So what we want to do is we want to get x on its own, and x has to be a positive value. So we want to divide this by minus 10. Now, because we want to get rid of this minus 10 and change it to a plus 1, so we have to divide it by minus 10. If we divide this side by minus 10, we have to divide this side by minus 10. So these will cancel out, and x then is going to be equal to minus 30 divided by minus 10 is equal to plus, or just equal to 3. So our value for x we've worked out is equal to 3. Now what you do is you take this value for x and you substitute it back into one of your equations, and then you can solve for the other variable, which in this case is y. So we can do this over here. So we'll just rewrite. So equation 1 is, so we can just pick one of them. So it's 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. And x we've just worked out is equal to 3. So what we do is we substitute the value in here. So wherever there's an x in this equation 1, we put in the value for 3. So what does that look like? It's going to be 2 multiplied by 3 plus 3y is equal to 9. So then we can multiply this out. So 2 by 3 is 6 plus 3y is equal to 9. What we want to do now is we want to get this y in its own, so we have to get rid of the numbers around it. So this is plus 6, so we have to minus 6 from this. So we want to change this to 0, and if we minus 6 from this side, we have to minus 6 from this side. So these two will cancel out, and 3y is going to be equal to 9 minus 6, which is equal to 3. I'm just going to move down a little bit. So then what we want to do is we want to figure out what. So what we're saying is that 3y is equal to 3. So we want to work out what is y equal to. So this means 3 multiplied by y. So we want to change this 3 to a 1. So we have to, because it's multiplication, it's 3 multiplied by y, we do the opposite, we use division. So we have to divide this by 3. And if we divide this side by 3, we have to divide this side by 3. So what's going to happen is this will go in here once, go in here once, go in here once, and in here once. And then what you'll end up with, y then is equal to 1. So this is our value then for y. So the value for x is 3 and the value for y is 1. So in that case, if we look at our choices that we have, x is 3, y is 1. This is our answer here. Okay, so that's simultaneous equations, how to solve a simultaneous equation.